The lawyer cleared his throat and adjusted his glasses, glancing around the lavish living room. Every chandelier sparkled, every face glared. The entire Wilson family sat in leather chairs, dripping with wealth and fake sympathy. And in the corner, sitting quietly with folded hands, was 17-year-old Maya, the only black person in the room, the late Mr. Wilson's goddaughter. One of the cousins leaned toward another and whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear, "I don't even know why she's here. Dad probably just gave her a scholarship or something." Maya heard it. She always did. But she stayed still, staring at the lawyer, her eyes calm. "All right," the lawyer began, flipping open the thick envelope. "The last will and testament of Mr. Charles Wilson." The eldest son smirked, already relaxing in his seat. "Finally," he said, "let's see who gets the mansion." The lawyer started reading. "To my beloved children, Ethan, Laura, and Thomas," the three of them straightened proudly, "I leave each of you $1. The room went dead silent. "What?" Thomas shouted, jumping to his feet. "That has to be a joke." The lawyer didn't look up. "And to my loyal staff, I leave a total of $20,000, divided evenly among them." Murmurs broke out, faces reddened, but everyone turned when the lawyer paused. He looked straight at Maya. "And finally," he said slowly, "to my goddaughter, Maya Johnson." All eyes snapped to her. Laura folded her arms. "Here it comes. Some tiny, thank you, gift." The lawyer smiled faintly. "I leave everything else. The estate, the company shares, the house, the cars, and the accounts." The room exploded. "What?" Laura screamed. "That's not possible." Ethan slammed the table. "She's not even family." The lawyer cleared his throat again. Mr. Wilson's exact words were, and I quote, "Family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up when everyone else walks away." Maya blinked, stunned, her heart pounding. She hadn't expected this, not even close. Thomas sneered, "This is some kind of trick. She probably manipulated him." Maya finally spoke, her voice soft but steady. "No. He took me in when my mom died. I didn't ask for anything. I just helped him when he got sick." Ethan laughed bitterly. "Oh please. You think he'd give his legacy to some charity case?" The lawyer sighed, closing the file. "You can shout all you want, but the will is legally binding. Miss Johnson is now the owner of the Wilson estate." The siblings froze, and the room, once filled with superiority, now felt suffocating with disbelief. Maya stood up slowly, her chair scraping against the floor. "He told me something before he passed," she said quietly. "He said, when they finally see who you really are, don't let their hate make you small." Then she looked at them, the same people who had ignored her for years, and said the line that made every jaw drop. "Greater than, you spent your lives trying to prove your worth to his money. I just tried to be worth his love." And for the first time, none of them had anything to say. The room was thick with silence, the kind that made even the air feel heavy. Laura's face twisted with rage as she slammed her diamond-covered hand on the table. "This isn't over," she hissed. "We'll contest the will. There's no way he'd give you everything." Maya stayed calm, though her hands trembled slightly. "You can contest it," she said softly, "but he recorded a video. He wanted you to see it." The lawyer pressed a button on the large flat screen mounted on the wall. The family's late patriarch, Mr. Wilson, appeared on-screen, frail but smiling gently. His voice was calm, yet it carried weight. "If you're watching this," he said, "then I've finally gone home. And knowing my children, you're probably angry right now." Ethan muttered under his breath, "You bet we are." The old man continued, "I built this family from nothing. But somewhere along the way, I realized the ones who shared my blood didn't share my values. Maya," he paused, looking directly into the camera, "you reminded me of who I used to be. Humble, kind, grateful. When I was sick, you were the only one who came, not to take, but to help." Maya's eyes glistened. She blinked fast, trying not to cry in front of them. Mr. Wilson smiled weakly on screen. "So yes, my fortune is hers. Because she earned it, not with greed, but with heart." The video ended. For a moment, no one breathed. Then Thomas shouted, "That's manipulation." He was old, confused. But the lawyer interrupted sharply. The video was recorded 3 months before his passing, in perfect mental health, verified by 2 witnesses and his doctor. "It's official." Laura's voice cracked. So what now? We're just supposed to watch her walk out of here with our home. Maya turned toward them, calm but strong. Your father's home, she corrected gently. And if you'd spent time with him instead of his money, maybe it would have been yours too. Ethan's jaw clenched. You'll regret this. Maya met his glare without blinking. No, she said quietly. You'll regret not realizing that love is worth more than an inheritance. The lawyer gathered the papers as security entered discreetly. Miss Johnson, he said respectfully, the estate car is waiting outside for you. Maya nodded, picking up her small handbag, the only thing she'd brought. As she reached the door, Laura sneered, you think being rich will make you one of us? Maya paused and looked back. No, she said softly. It just means you'll finally have to see me from below. And with that, she walked out, the house echoing behind her, filled with anger, disbelief, and the ghosts of their own greed. Outside, cold rain had begun to fall, but Maya didn't flinch. She stepped into the long black car waiting by the gate, her reflection faintly visible in the window, calm, but determined. The driver tipped his hat. Miss Johnson, he said. Mr. Wilson arranged everything before he passed. The foundation, the estate, even the board position. It's all yours now. Her breath caught. Board position. He smiled. You're the new chair of Wilson Enterprises. Inside the mansion, chaos erupted. Ethan slammed his fist against the table. Chair. She's the chair now. Over me. Laura grabbed her phone. Call the board. They can't let this happen. But their lawyer, still seated, shook his head slowly. I wouldn't do that. The late Mr. Wilson put every share in her name. She owns controlling interest. She doesn't need their approval. Maya's car rolled past the gates, and she exhaled deeply. She looked at the cloudy sky, whispering to herself, you trusted me, Mr. Wilson. I won't let you down. When she arrived at the Wilson Enterprises headquarters the next morning, whispers followed her everywhere. Employees stared, some with surprise, others with respect. As she entered the boardroom, the same people who once ignored her when she brought coffee now stood when she walked in. One of them, an older man in a gray suit, said carefully, Ma'am, we were told you'd be overseeing the transition. We didn't realize you were the heir. Maya gave a small smile. Neither did they. She sat at the head of the long glass table, the seat that once belonged to the man who had changed her life. And just as the meeting began, the door burst open. Laura stormed in, soaked from the rain, eyes full of fury. You can't just take everything. She shouted. You're nothing but a charity case. Maya didn't rise from her chair. Her tone stayed even, her gaze steady. You're right, she said softly. I was a charity case, until the man you called Dad gave me something you never could. Faith. Laura froze. And now, Maya continued. I'll honor him by protecting everything he built, from people who never valued it. The boardroom fell silent again. Then, as if on cue, every director turned to Maya. The respect in their eyes was real this time. For the first time in her life, Maya wasn't serving coffee in this room, she was running it.